Hey, I'm Siobhan, and I love talking about all the things related to freedom and personal growth. And I'm on a journey to redefine freedom on my own terms as I become the woman I desire to be. Each week, I'll share in real time what I'm learning as I do my inner work while creating a safe space for my listeners to feel seen. If you desire to be free and live a life that feels good to you, then you're in the right place for beautiful conversations that's going to support you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to the Siobhan J. Middleton podcast. Now let's start the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of my podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan. As always, I'm so delighted that you are taking time out of your day, again, to listen to me. I deeply appreciate that. Yesterday, I was pondering a question that I feel like I talked about on the podcast before, but for some reason, it came up again for me, and I want to explore what I've been thinking about, and then also offer you some insight that will challenge you to answer this question for yourself. And the question is, what do you want? What do you want? And I am in a different space now where what I wanted 5 years ago, 3 years ago, looks completely different. Before, I had goals, like I was reaching for something. And with those goals and the way that I did it before, I don't want to do it this time in the same way. And what I mean by that, as it relates to my business, Be Free Project, the focus was always to grow my events, grow the podcast, grow my membership community, grow my newsletter. Like the constant focus was growth, because with growth, then I would make more money. However, the way that I was doing it, where I was my work and my work was me, and that was very unhealthy. And it took me a minute to really separate myself from my company. So there were a lot of times within my work, like where I was just doing the most, and I became a workaholic. And I can see now how that is not the direction I want to go this time around. And even when I think about in my personal life, the goals, they looked a little bit different. But for the past 3 years, it was, okay, I need to separate. I need to get my own apartment. Okay, I need to go through the process of the divorce. I need to finalize a divorce. Those were all goals that I was reaching towards. And now all of that is behind me. And so here I am at 43 years old, starting new, starting fresh, I won't even say a new chapter of my life. This feels like a new book. And everything looks different. The way that I want to approach things looks very differently. I don't like the way that I did things in the past as it relates to how I was achieving goals, because some of the ways that I showed up was from a trauma response and competing with my mother, like not wanting to be like her. And so I aggressively worked very hard not to be like her. However, that was a trauma response for the healing that I still needed to do. So here I am now, and I'm like, well, there's some things that I want, some things that I desire, but I don't want to go about them the same way that I did before. And I don't even believe that it's possible because of my self-awareness and the mental and emotional health that I've experienced thus far. So when I think about this question, what do I want? I'm thinking about every aspect of my life, but what is it that I want? What do I want? What do I want? And that's not necessarily an easy question to answer, right? And so what I have done is I've taken time to kind of sit with myself. And I remember a few months ago, and maybe this is when I did a podcast about this, but I had made a list of my dreams, of what I wanted now based off of where I'm at. And my dreams look very different from before. But then I put the papers away somewhere and I hadn't come back to them. And so when I'm pondering the question yesterday, what do I want? I'm like, I know I made a list. I know there's things that I want. And so I started writing in my journal. And then I'm like, oh, wait, go get the list that you made before. And I'm so grateful that I kept this list, because what I had started writing again in my journal were the same things that were on this list. And that's how I know, oh, this is what you want. This is what you desire. This is not going anywhere. This is what we are working towards. Before I share what was on the list, I wanted to rewrite this list so that I can make sure that it was still, like, these are still desires that I have, right? So I got out a blank piece of paper, like printer paper, and at the very top of the page, I put dreams/manifest. And then under that, I wrote, what do I want? And then I just started writing down the things that I wanted. What do I want to experience, right? So before I share what's on this list, just know that it's forever changing, it's forever evolving. This is just a starting point based off of where I'm at today. So this is what I wrote down. I want to travel the world to see libraries and bookstores. I want to see a Broadway show in New York with the best seats ever. I want to move to New Orleans. I want to live in Bali. I want to float city to city, state to state, country to country, living freely, experiencing the culture, the people, etc. I want to host my own talk show / keynote interviewer, become a millionaire. I want my podcast to reach millions of people all over the world. I want a VIP / Beehive Beyonce concert experience. I want brand partnerships that align with my values. I want to travel the world for work and play. I want to speak at Essence Fest. I want to be 100% debt-free. I want to get paid to shop at Trader Joe's. I want to host events for both men and women, retreats, gatherings, etc. I want to own my own bookstore / coffee shop / skating rink. I want to fly first class. I want to write a book. I want a line of journals in Target. I want a nonprofit space for women to retreat to while experiencing a major life transition. And then lastly, I wrote, I have a creative business that gives me the financial stability and freedom and the type of lifestyle I desire and deserve. Once I wrote all of that out, I taped it to my wall in my office nook so that I can see it every single time that I pass that area. And I'm going to read the list every day for the most part, as long as I can remember. But that's the intention, is to read it. And one of the things I realized is that it's very important for me to be around creative energy, right? Here in Cleveland, and many people who live here or have traveled here, there's a dark cloud over this city, and it really can drain your energy. And so while I'm here for the next 3 years, I have to make sure that I am in spaces where I am being nourished, where I am being inspired, where I am around creativity. And so that's going to be the work, because yes, my home is beautiful, but sometimes I just need to be out and about. Hence the reason why I took a part-time job at a spice shop, to be around different people and just absorb that energy. And what I realized as I was journaling last night is that exposure is so important. So based on where my list is today, right, it's based on the exposure that I've had in life. And so I need to get out more and have conversations and be around people so that I can say, oh, this is also a dream of mine that I didn't know, but because I haven't talked about it or been around certain people or in certain environments, it hasn't been stimulated. So there's some things that I don't even know that I want because of the lack of exposure, right? Or there's some things that I don't know that I want to experience because I just don't know. And that's why I said that the list is forever growing, because there's going to be dreams that come up for me that in this moment right now, I don't know. But over time, reading books and listening to podcasts and just being out exploring the world, it will come to me. I wanted to share this because I posted this question on Instagram yesterday: what do you want? And I think it's very easy to get caught up in life and doing the same things that we forget what our dreams are. And if you're like me and you're starting over, then your dreams will look very different from where they did possibly a few years ago. Like, I was thinking about this as well. The dreams that I had in the past, I'm sitting in them now. Like, the dream was to have my own apartment and for it to be beautifully decorated, to be self-sufficient, to mother my children in a healthy way, to be able to financially take care of myself and my children, to figure out what the new dream was. And right now, as it relates to my work, is to focus on the podcast and my newsletter, but also get back to hosting in-person events. Like, there is a call for that in my spirit, And many of the dreams that I had before, or goals that I've had before, I've reached them, right? Like, people knew about Be Free Project all over the world, which blows my mind. There's not a time that I go out now that someone does not stop me. I can be at the club, I can be at the bookstore, I can be at a birthday party, and someone will come up to me and say, "Hey, I know you. You have that podcast," or "I came to your event," or "I purchased your journal." There is never a moment that goes by that I don't run into someone that is familiar with my work. I've made a huge impact, and I am so proud of that. And so when I think about where I'm at today, I'm like, okay, we're starting over, but we're starting from a place of experience. We're starting from a place of freedom, right? And doing it in a healthier way. So as I think about the dreams that I have now and what I'm striving for today, I'm going to approach it very differently. So I want to encourage you to explore the question for yourself. What do you want? What are your dreams? What do you desire for this life that you're living, right? Get some blank paper, and at the top of the page, write dreams. Put, what do I want? Give yourself space to answer this question, where you have some music on possibly, or maybe you're sitting quiet and you're just with yourself. And don't rush it. Just allow whatever comes up to come up and put it on paper. And once you have a good list, whatever that looks like for you, post it where you can visibly see it, and then begin to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to make these dreams my reality? So that's where I'm at now. I have the dreams. I know what I'm working towards. What type of spaces do I need to put myself in so that way I'm experiencing what I am dreaming? And I know the main thing right now is, okay, I'm moving to New Orleans in 3 years. What do I need to do today to prepare for that, right? I want to live in Bali and travel for work and play. I want brand partnerships. What do I need to do today so that these dreams will manifest? Because I can't just write them down and think, oh, okay, la, 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 la. No. There's action that has to go behind this. However, my action steps this time around will be very different than how I approached it before. And so that's where I'm at. And I wanted to share this because I feel like with so many things that are happening in the world, and I'm having conversations with people both offline and on who are not in the best space. Yesterday, someone sent me a message, and she sent a photo of an event that I had done in Raleigh, North Carolina 6 years ago. And she said it popped up in her memories, and she said, continue to be free and live unstuck. She says, this And then she goes on to say, this was in Raleigh, by the way, the workshop you did with Alicia. I attended, and you were and still are a powerful speaker and motivator. Thank you for unselfishly sharing your gift. And I told her how much I needed that, because sometimes I forget, like the impact that I've made, but I'm still making it. And I am a powerful speaker, and I am a motivator, and I'm inspiring people all over the world to get unstuck and to redefine freedom. And it's those beautiful memories that I have that will be my motivation to continue to reach my goals and accomplish the dreams that I have, right? And so I would love for you to do this exercise. And if you do, let me know. Definitely shoot me a DM. And you can also subscribe to my newsletter, where I go a little bit deeper each week. And then you can become a free subscriber or a paid subscriber, whichever best fits your needs. But the link will always be in the show notes. And you can also come over there and have a conversation with me about the episode and about the newsletter. I also share fun things that are worth sharing that I don't necessarily share on the podcast that I think will be insightful for you. I would love for you to rate this podcast 5 stars and leave a comment on Apple Podcasts. I believe there's a way you can leave a comment or so on Spotify. So if you're listening there, definitely do so. And you definitely can do it on YouTube. Thank you so much in advance. And then if you were inspired by today's episode, treat me to a cup of coffee. That link is in the show notes. Every week someone does it, and I'm so grateful for the support. Deeply appreciate it. And please make sure you share this episode with a friend. Send them the link and say, hey, take a listen to this. Maybe you can do this activity together if you would like. I would love for you to share it on social media. Tag me at Siobhan J. Middleton. That link is in the show notes as well. Sending you so much love and light, and I hope you have the most amazing day ever.